So I'm sure some people are wondering why I've done so many videos recently on the free software stuff, Linux and whatnot. And a part of it is because I like it, for one. For two, it's something I use in my daily life. I just use it every day, and a lot of this stuff I do use kind of regularly and I am sort of familiar with, and there may be a few people out there that don't know how to use it. And sometimes I look for something and figure something out, and finding an easy resource on how to work that or make it work isn't always there. So being the person that provides that is kind of part of it, because for example, not a lot of people have addressed the latest pine phone thing with data and AT&T and updating networks and stuff. And that's an issue that people are going to run into. So it was something that bothered me and I thought would be helpful for other people, and it has helped a couple other people out in working out the issue that they've had, and then working with their carrier to get things figured out so that they can have their Pine phone working properly. But I think the biggest reason is kind of the aspect of the freedom that you get from it. So when you look at what Apple's doing or what Microsoft is doing and how they've locked things down more and more. Yeah, Windows has dark mode now, but how long did it take them to get that? And yeah, you can change colors here and there, but that's really not the level of fine tuning that I've come to appreciate and come to love. It's My computer has basically become akin to a manual car where I get to choose the gear, how quick, and everything else. And I kind of prefer that, kind of being able to have that control. And when I don't have that, I feel kind of lost. And it it gives you that freedom to where you get to decide what's best for you rather than have another company tell you what's best for you. Have someone else tell you what's best for you. Because when you look at the way Microsoft and Apple are going, they're basically getting rid of this whole infrastructure of applications. So to some extent, Win32 that everybody's been used to for decades is disappearing to be replaced with universal Windows applications or whatever. And or there's also the issue of a lot of things are becoming Electron based. You look at what Microsoft has done with VS Code in creating that, and it's based on Electron. So you're basically running Chromium to do your local coding when you really don't have to. And Linux, yes, it has a lot of Electron apps still, and some of them I've shown off, and they're really cool. But it also gives you the other option of being able to avoid all that overhead from Electron. And that's the kind. Sometimes I just need something that's a bit lighter, because when I want to play a game and watch something at the same time, sometimes an Electron app just takes up too much processing power. Well, it always does, such that my game kind of wigs out on me. So, I can be sitting there playing Minecraft, have FreeTube open even, and I'm having issues with it lagging. And then once I stop playing the video in FreeTube, all of a sudden, I'm sitting here hitting a perfect 60 plus frames in Minecraft. Whereas before it was an issue, and I don't get why. And the other thing too is learning. So where I share the knowledge, it's a lot of things that I learn. So it helps other people become that are wanting to become freer from these other ecosystems. If they've been looking to try something different and things like that, it's another resource that people have to go to. And that's kind of important to me, helping people find something that they want that makes them feel a little bit freer and a little bit safer in their freedom, I guess, is something that I guess you could say I'm passionate about or I'm really into. And It's also why sometimes I shift my workflows to try out new things and implement it in, is because I'm looking for a way to either like free up resources so that I can do other things that I want to do, or I'm just trying out something that looks really cool and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But the biggest part for me, I think, really, yeah, comes down to like showing people what's possible in helping them to set loose their freedom mindset, which is what free software is all about, is you taking something that you have and using it the way that you want to. And free software doesn't care what that purpose is, really. It's just there as a tool. Most people are going to do something good with it. You're going to have, yes, those bad eggs, of course, but you've got so many people that know how to use it for good and are generally freedom-loving people that it's like you can trust the majority, a lot of people, to do something good with it or not do something bad with it in the least. And then, of course, you're going to have those that are going to somewhat do something bad with it. It's like security software is out in the open. You've got plenty of like repositories for Linux dedicated to penetration testing software. And that's something that's freely out there that anyone can use, but they direct it towards security professionals. And in many cases, these are some of the same tools that some of these like hackers use to crack things open for their malicious purposes. But we don't get rid of those because of that. We still have them around. We just take it case by case and figure out who's the bad egg, and then they get their punishment for like doing what they did. So I just love the freedom part of it all and helping people to open up their horizons and see what's actually possible. And sometimes they need that extra like little help to where it's like, oh, I guess it's easier than I thought, or someone to like give them that little hand up in order to actually move forward with it. Otherwise, they're just going to drop it. And if you want something to grow, then you've got to be one of those people that support it and show support to those that are trying to come to it. If you're not there showing that support, or if you're not there giving out that helping hand, then as much as you want people to enjoy what you enjoy, they're not going to, because they haven't been given that chance. Which people have talked about Linux elitism being valid, and yes, it's valid. At the same time, I think that elitism also can take on a different form where it's like you're being more helpful to people and friendlier to people rather than snub-nosing them. But at the same time, it does get those kind of people out of the way, because generally they kind of keep to themselves and don't care about others. You can find plenty of communities that are willing to help you with like getting into it, but sometimes for the new people, finding those places isn't the easiest. So, yeah. Remember, guys, if you appreciate what you saw, if anything, any of this helped you, you can scream at me on Discord, on Guilded, on any of the other chat things, on Matrix and whatnot. Links are down in the description. I believe I've even included my XMPP in there. Check it all out and drop a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think at all, any of that kind of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.